Hi everyone, my name is Dilip Thakur and today we are going to discuss the Maharashtra Board Science 2 papers, the examination of which happened on 20th March 2024. The paper was quite easy. It follows the same pattern of the previous year. Most of the questions were objective type and those who have studied seriously should not have any problem to get good marks in this examination. So let's see the first question, first subpart A, which is multiple choice. So the first one is regeneration occurs in planaria. Similarly, Lactobacillus brevis gives us the beverage like cider, and minor change occurs due to position of any nucleotide is termed as mutation. Normally in viruses, when they make copies, then the mutation happens and their characteristic also changes due to that. Atomic power plant in Maharashtra is Tarapur, which was commissioned in 1969, and recently in 2019 it celebrated its golden jubilee. Now, example of phylum Arthropoda is scorpion. Similarly, the next questions were also 1 mark each, and skin, its melanin is found. So I believe pancreas should be associated with insulin. Anyway, please check it with your books. This is what I have understood. Now, the next one is true or false. Production of various useful aquatic organisms with the help of water is called blue revolution. That should be correct because in this the fisheries are encouraged and the government gives a lot of support to those who are dependent on fisheries. So basically the production of fisheries is maximized. Another one is quite simple. The full form of WHO, which is World Health Organization. It's a part of United Nations, and it played an active role in the fight against the pandemic. Now coming to these chromosomes, so male has 44 plus both X and Y. Female has 44 and both have to be X. And it is the male which is responsible for the gender of the child because he has both X and Y chromosome. Now let's move to the 2 marks question. Give scientific reasons. So the first is seeking explanation about tortoise being an organism which lives on both land and water, but still it is excluded from amphibia. So it's because they have exoskeletons and they respire through lungs, which actually do not have the characteristics of amphibia. Next one is the renewable energies. Hydroelectric energy, solar energy, and wind energy are renewable energies because they are inexhaustible. If they are used, again, they are regenerated. So it's unlike the non-renewable or the conventional sources like coal and petroleum, which can get over if we continue to use them. Now the third one is we feel tired after exercise. So normally during exercise, our muscles respire anaerobically, and that generates low ATP because there is no oxygen involved. So the glucose does not get completely oxidized and the lactic acid is formed. and that is sometimes also responsible for blocking the muscles. Now let's see, answer any three of the following. Again, 2 marks question. There are five questions, out of which three have to be done. So write 4 adverse effects of radiation. Radiations definitely cause cancer. Apart from that, they can penetrate through the cells and the DNA, and they can change the composition of DNA. So this is exactly what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki when atomic bombs were dropped there. Now let's see, we have to now fill up these different components of the chart. So factors affecting the social health, there are many components mentioned in the book, out of which job opportunities, social safety, education, and financial status are a few. Similarly, write any 4 important facts which must be thought over while considering the scope of disaster. So obviously, it has different phases. First is pre-disaster phase, which is all about anticipating and making prior preparation. And then comes warning phase, and then emergency, when actually the disaster strikes and a lot of rescue operations happen. And after that, rehabilitation is required of the people who are victims of this natural disaster. Similarly, name 2 fuels obtained by microbial process, and why is it necessary to increase the use of such fuels? One which comes to my mind is ethanol, which is ethyl alcohol, and it is added to petrol because it's a clean fuel. When it burns, it does not emit the toxic gases like petrol. Plus, it also saves the amount of petrol which we normally import from other countries. Next one is DNA fingerprinting. The DNA fingerprinting is basically the print of the DNA of both the parents, because when the DNA of a child is matched with the combined DNA of the parents, it should match. It is used in forensic science. For instance, if any criminal has committed a crime and if there is anything left from which the DNA can be extracted, then it can be established that he was there at that crime scene. Similarly, it is also used for identifying the biological parents of newborn babies, who often get mixed in hospitals after their birth. Now coming to questions having 3 marks, and of course they have 3 subparts as well. Vitamins, they are the essential constituents of our nutrients. They are required in very small quantity, but still they are vital for so many organs like our eyes and other things. So the classification according to their solubility is water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble, we can have vitamin C, and fat soluble, we have vitamin A. Now explain the following terms. Stem cells are those initial cells which are formed at the time of formation of embryo, and they are the cells which can be used to recreate the whole organism. Cloning is just creating the exact copy of the organism. This was done in the case of Dolly, which was a sheep, and she was the exact copy of her father. So from her mother, that nucleus was taken out and then hybridized. So she became the exact replica of her father. Similarly, genetically modified crops are those crops in which certain modifications are made. by hybridization so that their characteristics can be improved. It can be the high yield that can be targeted, or it can be the amount of water that some GM crops will require less and they can be grown in the semi-arid areas. Now, the third one is a paragraph, and they have given these options. So it's quite simple. It's about spilling of petroleum, which normally occurs in oceans, and when it spreads very fast. The aquatic animals get affected and threatened by them, and it is very difficult to mechanically separate. So they spread over a large area. So the microbial process is used, and that way those harmful chemicals can be neutralized, and we can prevent any damage to those aquatic species. Now, the fourth one is again a picture based. This picture definitely is of windmill which rotates. Its blades rotate when the flowing wind strike it, and that runs the turbine and the electricity is produced. So it is the wind energy that is converted into electrical energy, and it is eco-friendly because there is no burning happens, and as a result, no toxic gases are released. So that's why it is eco-friendly. Fifth one, again a chart-based. Hobbies helpful to overcome stress. It's a very general question. As we know, there are many hobbies like reading, cooking, drawing, rangoli, dancing, material collection, and so many others. Now write the name of 6 materials which are to be in the first aid box. First aid box normally contains many things, out of which 6 can be bandage, antiseptics, medicated cotton, hand gloves, soap, clean and dry clothes. You can write others also. This is what I found, few of them. Now, the long answer question having 5 subparts. Answer the following questions based on human male reproductive system. So, in which organ sperms are formed? Obviously, it is testis. The length of sperm is 60 micrometer, and vast difference is the medium through which these sperms are transported, and they divide by the process called meiosis, and the 2 unpaired organs of male productive system can be penis and scrotum. Now the next one is again a flowchart based. So classification of threatened species. So we have 4: endangered, rare, vulnerable, and indeterminate. Now another subpart, define vestigial organs. So vestigial organs are those organs which are no longer useful for the current organism because of evolution. So that is also a kind of evidence that helps us understand that the organisms have evolved, and as they evolve, certain parts are no longer necessary, but still the roots of those parts are still there. So in humans, we have appendix and we have those teeth which are no longer needed. Names of animals in which these vestigial organs are functional. For instance, in monkeys, still they have the tail, so this is quite functional. It helps them in locomotion. Now read the statements and answer accordingly. Now calcareous spines are present in the body. Tube feet are used for locomotion and capturing prey also. So the phylum of this is Echinodermata, and one example can be starfish. I live in your small intestine. Pseudocoelom is present in my thread-like body. The phylum is Aschelminthus, and example can be Ascaris. There are others as well. My body is spindle-shaped. I respire with the help of gills. So the moment gills come, it has to be fishes which belong to the glass species. Rohu, pomfret, these are the examples. Now, how can biodiversity be conserved? Obviously, it's a very general question. We have to protect the rare species. We have to set up national parks and sanctuaries where they can be kept in safe conditions. We also need to set up bioreserves. And of course, everyone has to attempt and try to conserve plants and animals. And the last subpart is color of pages in the red list of endangered species. So there are two colors, pink and green. Pink color represents the endangered species who are on the brink of extinction. Green color represents those species which used to be endangered, but because of conservational efforts, so now they are safe. So they are in the green zone. So this was the Science 2 paper of Maharashtra Board 2024, and the paper was quite easy. Mostly 1 or 2 word questions were plenty, and they were not at all difficult. In fact, many questions have been repeated also from the previous years. So those who did the previous year question papers, they should not find it difficult. So this is how the paper was. If you have liked or if you have found this video useful, please like it and do subscribe to our channels, because we have many such videos already uploaded, and in the future as well, some more will be uploaded. So thanks a lot for being with me and going through this question paper of Science 2. And